What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Post Game Spread. I'm going to be your host as always, Blake Helm. We just wrapped up the Mitch Trees story, part 2. Been wanting to have this guy on since this show idea, 2.5, 3 years ago. I wondered, what did Mitch Trees go through? What did he think? This high-level guy getting drafted out of high school as a catcher, had kind of a rough pro career in terms of never got really a full chance. Essentially was immediately slotted into a backup role as they were drafting first-round catchers and never really got a chance to really know what he could do. So I always wondered, how did he see it? How did he feel? What did he learn about himself throughout the process? And we got a very clear picture. And Mitch Trees is an awesome guy. There are legends about this guy. He is Northend tough. In part 2, we kind of wrapped up how his career went, and then more of like a fun Q&A, baseball-wise, ranging from what kind of glove did you like, walk-up music, favorite stadium, baseball movie, all those kind of fun questions that I ask everyone. So thank you for everyone that participated in this. Thank you to Cole Daly, David Jacob, Connor White, Carter Pranger, Justin Knadler, Mike Eck, Corky Miller, Mitch Piatnik, Shane Meridosian. These guys were incredible. They gave great clips and context about Mitch, and I am so happy to report that Mitch is doing great. He's not one of those guys that looks back on his career and thinks, what if, and I got screwed and I didn't get a chance and all these things. Even though I might think that about his career, he doesn't, and he's at peace. And he's doing great, and he's down in Georgia, married with a little man, 1-year-old Gunner. Look out for that guy, Gunner Trees. What a baseball name already. So anyway, thank you for your time, everyone. Thank you for listening. This is going to be the Mitch Trees story, part 2. Enjoy. Hey guys, before we get rolling, I want to say a special thank you to all my sponsors out there. I could not do this without them. I started this podcast about 2.5 years ago as a way to get back into the game on my own time, on my own terms, and it has grown beyond what I ever thought it could be. And I don't even know where it's going to keep going, but I'm following it. I'm riding this wave, but I couldn't keep going, couldn't keep doing this full time without the sponsors who put money into this, that breathe life into it, that believe in me. So I'm so deeply thankful to them. So I want to name them off. We've already run through a bunch of their ads, but I want to name them off personally before we get through this one. So thank you to Washco Strength and Speed, Body Symmetry, Sheehan & Sheehan Lawyers, Milner Dentistry, Bank of Springfield, Sitco Chiropractic, Glisten Heating and Air, Eric Easley, the Realtor, the Kaiser family, this is Ryan and Mandy, The Office Sports Bar and Grill, Hammers Radon Mitigation, BSN Sports, Cardinal Cleaning, The Crafted Stag, GT Performance Consulting, Grab a Java, Safe House Illinois, Nate Guernsey, the Realtor, Iron Palm Coffee, Salvaggio Steel, Clean Fuego, Timberback Company. These guys are incredible. Most of these are local entities to Central Illinois, Springfield, Illinois. Please use them. I mean, all of these guys are personal to me in some way. They have a connection either to the baseball community or the sports community in this area, Central Illinois. So they believe in me. I believe in them. Go see them if you need them, please. And thank you again. I really appreciate you guys. Post-game spread. Here we go. This is going to be the Mitch Trees story, part 2. Asleep?
Yeah, he's good to go.
Does he go down easy, or does he have trouble sometimes?
He's usually pretty easy. I mean, he sleeps good. He sleeps like most of the time we put him down 7, 8 o'clock and he is out till 7 the next morning. So
good sleeper. Beautiful.
Yeah, he's a good sleeper.
What's been the most surprising thing about being a dad for you?
I mean, it's all new. So everything really, I mean, it's, man, like, right now, he gets into everything.
Yeah. You can't. He's in that stage
where he turns you turn around for 1 second and he's like climbing up on top of the countertop, Yes. So he's just like you always gotta keep your head on a swivel.
Hey man, let me commend you too on a great name. I remember when you told me when I got a hold of you way back that your wife was pregnant. You guys had a boy on the way, and you were like kicking around baseball names, and I was like, you gotta be a good one, man. Gunner's what you came up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
So
So that had to be your idea, right?
my wife actually, both of us,
Really?
yeah, but
But
she was an athlete too. She played softball and she actually played college golf.
where at?
North Georgia.
That's right. Someone was saying that she beat you in golf when you guys
Yeah,
played, or has
Justin.
beat you before.
It's probably Justin. Yeah,
Justin, it was Justin.
yeah. He always talks crap about how she's better than me, but she does
Okay.
beat me.
Okay. Well, man, we're already rolling. I already hit record, so I'm not sure what I'm going to cut here. I kind of even like this roll in here. That was kind of fun for me. But hey, guys, welcome back to the post game spread. I'm your host, as always, Blake Helm. This is going to be part 2 of the Mitch Trees story. I had so much stuff, so many questions for this guy. I had to bring back for a second round here. So he just got his son Gunner down to sleep, and we're going to talk some more baseball here. So anyway, Mitch, how you doing, my man?
Doing good. Doing
Yep.
good. How are you?
Doing great. How have you heard? I've actually heard quite a bit since we sat down last. A lot of people texting me. A lot of Springfield love. A lot of people reaching out saying they've been waiting to hear the Mitch Tree story. What have you heard?
I just talked to mostly the guys that you talked to, and a few family members. People reached out saying it was cool to hear everyone's perspective, and that I got great friends, and
Yeah.
that just all good stuff.
Was it fun for you to go back and talk about some of your baseball stuff, or what does that
Yeah,
feel like for you?
definitely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't talk much about it anymore, and none of us really do. So it's good to kind of bring it up, and kind
Yeah.
of a lot of memories you forget about. Kind of
Absolutely. And
comes along.
not that I'm not saying you needed closure, but a lot of guys, when they're done with this, they say something along the lines of, I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know I needed to kind of like get some of those stories out, kind of think through some things. And it's true. We are, you're a 30-year-old guy. I'm a 40-year-old guy. We kind of grew up in an age where you didn't really talk about yourself quite a bit, or it was kind of looked down upon in some ways. But I think this is a special way to look back on your career, and not in an egotistical way, but just what it was, how people saw you, what it meant to you, the game, what you learned about yourself. So in that, I think it's all beautiful. But anyway,
Yeah.
where we kind of left off is we ended up kind of meandering around some of your pro career, and we kind of skipped forward a little bit ahead to kind of how it ended a little bit. But I want to flip back real quick before we move on to our Q&A stuff in our clips with Justin and Corky. But let's kind of go through your 4th year. You ended up playing for multiple teams here. Stints in Billings. You hit 300 with 3 dings and 40 at bats. You were in Dayton for 13 games, and you were in Daytona for a little bit. So moving around all over the place. I'd love to hear a little bit about what this year felt like to you. Typically, what I think I know, when organizations are moving you around a lot like that, probably not the best sign.
Yeah, it's the end. Yeah, that's pretty much what it felt. I mean,
Yeah.
I went back to extended spring training, and obviously I knew that wasn't good. That I had already broke spring training and been to low A, and I went back to extended, and went there. Still was a little, hey, maybe I'll get some playing time. I did play well
Yeah.
while I was there. I hit
Right.
well,
Swinging it.
caught pretty well for the first little bit, and then like I said, they drafted another guy, and I would think we touched on it last time that I came off a road trip where I was hitting really well,
Yeah.
and got back home and sat for 7 straight days. I think
Man.
I might have ended up being like 10 days or something. I didn't play, and
So at that point, you know that even if you perform, it doesn't really matter
right, and yeah, and then
in a way.
Tyler Stevenson had gotten hurt in low A,
Mhm.
so they called me and they're going to bring me up to low A to Dayton, which I was like, great. I was hitting pretty good. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
give me a chance here to play.
Sure.
Since Tyler's not going to be there playing, he's hurt, and they and I mean I just pretty much same deal, platooned with another guy, Cassidy Brown, who is a good friend of mine too, awesome guy, uh, and we just kind of both played back and forth. Neither of us were playing great. Um, and the coaches were kind of like, it doesn't really matter, like you guys need to just you're here to do your job. Neither one of you guys are Tyler Stevenson, kind of
Right.
stuff like that. We kind of just saw where the writing on the wall. We knew where everything was going to end
Sure.
up for us. So, and then, that was tough there. That was like, Dayton was not fun for that little stint that I was there. And then
Why?
at the end,
Just
it was
because.
just like I just the vibes around there weren't great.
Yeah.
It was dealing with a little bit of negativity from the coaching staff. I think,
Towards you or towards everyone?
just a little bit towards everyone, and then
Yeah.
and like I said, specifically, those comments got made to me about not being, you're here to just fill in
You're a filler.
basically.
You're an
Yeah,
organizational guy.
you're a filler. You're not you're not Tyler Stevenson. You need to quit trying to do too much or this or that.
Mhm.
Which it was just a hard place to be.
What
But
do they want you to stop caring? What are you supposed to
yeah, I
do?
mean, I guess so. That's what I did. Yeah,
Right?
and then I got sent to Daytona after that. I think one of the other guys got hurt that was there, so then they brought
Oh,
me up to Daytona, which I was back with all the guys that I got drafted with Shane and Mitch and
yeah.
you know all the guys that I kind of got drafted with and came up with. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself again there towards the end of the season, like the last little
Sure.
bit that I was there, just because being with all those guys again and um, you know the camaraderie was a lot better. I got to play a little bit. I don't think I got that many at bats there. I don't even remember how many,
Mhm.
but um, you know, I don't think I played too bad in Daytona for the small stint that I was there. But and that was pretty much
8 at bats.
8 at bats. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
like maybe I caught 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
So
hit 250, my man. So
oh yeah, two
yeah,
yeah. So,
not bad. Not
yeah.
bad. Man, this is when I look back at your stat line through all these years, something that really strikes me is, and I think it's interesting, or not interesting, but it's weird. I'm not sure how I'm describing this right way, but it feels like you never got a true shot. Like they put this money into you, that they gave you a couple $100,000 or whatever, which would signify to me that they value you and are at least gonna, like, you never got a year where they threw you out there as you're the guy. And that is
Yeah,
what
no,
I find frustrating, right? Do you?
there was never a year. I mean, and it is what it is. It was just 2 years in a row where they drafted first round catchers
Yeah, but it's like
and
I wish looking back that they would have at least given you a year. If you were going to fall on your face offensively, give you a year, give you 300, 400 at bats to figure that out and know who you are. I don't think you ever got a
right.
chance to get rolling.
No, I don't
Do you
remember.
think that's accurate?
I don't think I ever got 200 at bats in a season.
No, man, that's
Yeah.
crazy. For the amount of money they put in you, which tells me they value you, for them to not then value you when they get you is perplexing to me. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely frustrating, but like I said, I mean,
Yeah,
they took two first round
I
guys
get that.
back to back years, and I don't
Yeah.
know if they just thought maybe it was going to be more of like a backup type deal, and that's what they were just going to put me in that role right away and see what happens. But yeah, like, it would have been nice, even if looking back, if they would have kept me in the AZL again, in the
Yeah.
rookie league one more year to where maybe I could have got some at bats and
Yeah.
everyday playing, and figured some stuff out.
Well,
That would have been maybe helpful.
is it
Uh,
safe to say that you feel like you never got like a true shot, like a true chance to play it out and see what you could have been?
and I mean, I would say I got opportunities. I mean, I guess I
That's a
didn't
great
get
way to put
many.
that.
I didn't get as many opportunities as maybe other people, but you
Well
know,
said.
I
Yeah,
didn't get. I didn't do what I needed to with the opportunities I was given,
for
basically.
sure. For sure. I
So,
get that.
I mean,
Um,
that's the way I try to look at it. And if I don't want to, I'm not going to blame anyone else for my failures
for
but
sure.
I think maybe a few more opportunities would have definitely helped, because I think towards that last year there, I definitely was figuring some things out. And like I said, yeah, I think it was just I was getting a little more consistent at bats. I went to um, extended again,
Yeah.
and I got a good bit of at bats and extended, and was feeling pretty good at the plate. Catching wise was feeling good.
Mhm.
Hit pretty good right out of the gate in Billings, and then like I said, I got to Dayton, and it just the the whole, like, everything, the vibes, everything that was going on there, uh, just kind of took it out of me. It
Sure.
was, and especially after coming off, like I said, coming off hitting really well, and then
Yeah.
they drafted a kid who, um, I don't know, I think he was a later round kid, college kid, not like a high pick, and then he comes in and plays over me. I was kind of like, well, that all kind of took the wind out of the sails.
How are you feeling about baseball at this point? Are you feeling like
Uh,
you burnt out on it? Like are you losing your love for it in ways? They can do
yeah, I
that.
was a little burnt out on it. Definitely when I got to Dayton that year, I was definitely burnt out on it. I was in the bullpen, and I would say I was probably a little bit grumpy most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like uh, the best. I wouldn't say I was like the best team guy to be around, but
You
uh,
might think that though, but multiple guys have said that you were incredible even when you were scuffling, that you still were
yeah,
awesome at locker room guy, awesome with the staff. So maybe you're being a little hard on yourself here. Possibly.
yeah, yeah, maybe. But I mean, I definitely knew that I was like I wasn't enjoying myself.
Yeah.
I still go there every day and do what I needed to do. I wasn't gonna not do what I was expected to do because it was my
Yeah.
job, but uh, it definitely was not. I wasn't enjoying myself. That's for sure.
I got a similar experience I want to share to you that when I was in indie ball was with the Windy City Thunderbolts, I knew things weren't going well. They started bringing in other outfielders to try out while I was there, and they were
Yeah,
making me try out with them. And I had my bag packed for like 2 weeks because I knew it was coming. And then finally they called me in, and I was like, "Well, I got my bags packed. I'm ready to go." But
yeah,
it can be like that, man, can't it?
yeah. It can. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's what that year I felt like. Man, I would bounce around from. I mean, from May to
Yeah,
September. I saw. I lived in four different states. I lived in Arizona, Montana, Ohio, Florida.
yeah,
I was so my bags were like I had stuff spread all across the country. I had stuff in
yeah.
Arizona, I still had stuff in Montana. I
Hmm.
had stuff everywhere.
Let's go to then. So we've already kind of covered um, how it ended with Colorado and the spring training, and that was kind of really tough for you. Uh, when that finally happened, did you feel like it was time to walk away? You were ready, or is there any thought of trying to catch on anywhere else, or indie ball, or trying to pitch? Because they wanted you
Yeah,
to pitch, right?
yeah. The Reds. So, did we touch
The
on how that
Reds. The Reds
basically?
wanted you to pitch, and you said you weren't
Yeah,
interested in that.
I
You
just
thought you
wanted
still
to go
wanted to
catch. I
catch.
said I'll try to go catch somewhere.
Yeah,
No, and I didn't really. I had pitched before in high school, but I didn't. Maybe like my sophomore or junior year, I pitched, and other than that, I hadn't pitched
right,
ever. I could throw a fastball, and
right. But
I,
they knew you had this live arm. They wanted to at least see
yeah, they
what
wanted to
was
see
there.
if I could do something with it, but I
Yeah,
didn't want to go through the process of going back to rookie league and learning a new
starting over.
position, and just wasting more time when I
You
could
ready to
go
get
on.
on with life?
Yeah, I could go on with life. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
maybe get into a career and not be 28, 30 years old and in the same position that I was when
You didn't want to be that.
I didn't really want to be that. Like, I wanted to catch, and I thought, if I get an opportunity with someone catching, like that's my best chance to do something.
Hmm.
So once that I got released there, I kind of thought I was probably going to be done, and the Rockies signed me. I kind of got excited again. We talked
Yeah.
about that, and um, once the Rockies released me, I had some teams interested. Like mostly, it was indie ball teams, and
Wasn't into it.
I wasn't.
Ready?
Yeah, I just decided, if I can't get on with an organization, then I'm gonna hang it up. So
Now, where are you at with baseball now? Like, do you feel like your heart is healed in ways, or do you love baseball, or where are you at with it now?
I mean, I always loved baseball.
Okay.
I think for a while there, I didn't. I got more into baseball now. For a while there, I think maybe I was a little resentful towards baseball. It wasn't,
I've been there.
but,
Watch though, as your son grows though, it's gonna reignite
right.
that love
Yeah.
in you, man.
And I do. I enjoy going watching the baseball games or going to baseball games and
Hmm.
just, you know, I look at it more now as like I'm just enjoy watching it. So,
Yeah. Cool.
um, yeah, I mean, there's no hard feelings
Okay.
anymore.
For sure. Well, we've got a couple more clips to hear from, a couple guys
Yep.
to hear from. So we got Corky Miller and Justin. Let's go Corky first. Why don't you tell me a little bit about you and Corky's relationship, who Corky is,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Corky's the man.
Yeah.
Love Corky. He
Uh-huh.
was, like probably one of my favorite coaches ever,
Yeah.
and got along great. He was a hard nosed guy, so I think we got along on that. He liked when you got after it, and
Mhm.
so, um, I mean, he was. funny as hell too. He always he cracked me up. But he would put in, time. If you wanted to work, he was willing to work. And
Yeah.
no, I always appreciated Corky throughout my career. He was awesome mentor, and just a great baseball guy.
I mean, he was a long-time big league backup, which I think is such a cool, kind of unique position to be like a big league backup guy. You play every once in a while. A lot of times you end up being like a personal catcher to someone, but you're still expected to put all the work in, all the bullpens, know all the hitters.
Right.
Sometimes you get to swing it, sometimes you don't. Like, it's a unique job, unique position. So
Yeah.
for a unique person. So let's go. Let's start off with some Corky clips here. Let's go. One of the best arms. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I mean he was. He probably still has one of the best arms I've seen, and
Nice.
Kind of up with like Logan Tanner, who was with us last year, is from Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
But he, he can get rid of the ball, and that's where it kind of trying to change the way, I saw how to help different people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had my thought on how to throw, like the way I had to throw, and I was like, well, I'm going to teach the way I know how to throw. But he was a lot different. Like, he would just stand up and like just throw the crap out of it, and it'd be 90 miles an hour to second base.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, all right, well, if he throws that way, then I got to let him throw that way. There's no way to change it.
Mm-hmm.
We messed with a little bit something for accuracy, but, it was arm first. He could block the ball.
Yeah.
I do remember he had some trouble with some harder fastballs to his right. Like, he would miss a couple here and there,
Okay.
and we'd always try to figure out how to do it.
Was that the sinkers you were talking about that you had some issues with, getting ate up by those a little bit?
Yeah, I worked with Corky and Mike Stefanski and Justin. I mean, I spent a lot of time working on that. Just the really just relaxing that hand and getting that glove in a good position. Like, I mean, if you can imagine them with my hand, but like just getting in a good position to turn so that I'm easy to turn over to catch.
Yeah.
Versus when people were throwing hard sinkers, without handcuffing myself like this.
Right. Interesting.
So that's something we spent a lot of time on. I mean, yeah, that was probably something I struggled with early on. Mostly is just catching sinkers until I got comfortable with that glove turn, I guess is what you would call it.
Okay, cool. Right on. Next one, the Tyler Stevenson issue.
I had helped guys when I was 38 years old in AAA, but like the way Mitch's his personality is, like, I would just mess with him all the time, and talk crap to him, and he would just give it back, and kind of try to make the adjustments. But the next year is when we drafted Tyler Stevenson in 2015 as a first rounder. So, like, that was kind of put him on the back burners.
Okay. Next one is looked the part. Here we go.
Can you speak to the nature of your relationship and kind of what you think about Mitch as a person? How about that?
He was great, man. He came in and he looked the part. He, has an absolute cannon.
Yeah.
And he was willing to learn and kind of knew his limitations sometimes on the hitting side or the catching side. And, he worked his butt off for as long as he could and tried to hold on. I mean, it was a different type of.
Okay. Next one is going to be valued differently. This is a cool clip.
We liked his athleticism. Like, I love the way he was in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously he wanted to catch and he wanted to throw, and like, he helped me out a lot, getting guys to like want to back pick and want to throw and want to pick guys off and throw guys out. It was just always like, can we just get him to hit 200? And that's what I was saying. It's kind of the wrong time. Like, right now, like, if he was drafted, a year ago or 2 years ago, like, it might be a little bit different.
Valued differently.
Before 2020, it was all like, we got to have guys that can hit. Like, the guys that can catch and throw aren't that that's not very high on some people's list. Now, I mean, if we got a catcher that can catch and hit 200, we're pretty excited.
Yeah. Right. Interesting.
And that's kind of how Mitch was, and that's what we always pressed. And our big league catching coach at the time was Mike Stefanski.
Mm-hmm.
And we loved Mitch. Like it was if we can just get him to hit, and he always took it in stride, and he took it great. Like he was never down. He always caught no matter what.
Yeah.
But he, like there was just fastballs that get blown by him, and he'd just go like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And
yeah.
It sucks. Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, it sucks when when everywhere you're going, like there's people that are hitting, and you're just not.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts hearing that clip? Hear him talking about that? You might be valued different. I know we've already kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I mean, I guess the way I see it is what it is. It happened when it happened, and I appreciate Corky and Mike were awesome. I mean, love those guys. They were awesome catching coaches. Really, I mean, definitely, I would say some of the better catching coaches around.
Absolutely. I mean, he's still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, Corky's still doing it. I don't know what Mike's doing, but they were both just fired up. They would get you fired up to be, blocking balls at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right, this next one, a different era. Here we go.
I mean, that's totally true.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, again, it was a different time.
Yeah.
If he would have been a year later, when I think we added Greenville, which was another rookie league team, we would have had to keep him. You know what I mean? And then fast forward to now, like if we only had 20 rounds and we were only drafting one catcher, maybe two catchers a year, we would keep him. Again, it is like it stinks.
Yeah.
To have the most at bats he had is 170.
Yeah.
In a season, or no, I guess he had in 2016 he had 270, but that was between Billings and Dayton.
Yeah.
And like there was just some things that we always can say, like we look back and be like, if we're honest with ourselves, we never got screwed.
Right. Yeah.
Even though everybody says, well, I got screwed, or, hey, you can't get hurt.
Yeah.
You never knew what happened. But, there's those times where it's like, man, I was in a different era. Like if I was a couple years earlier, a couple years later, it might have been better.
All right. That concludes our Corky Miller clips. I have one funny thing though, do you have anything to add on top of that?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm good.
Okay. A funny thing I always ask at the end when I talk to people is, do you have any funny stories that you can share? And it is always funny hearing guys like their first initial reaction. We talked a little bit about it before, but a lot of guys are like, no, not that I can share. Or like he kept starting and stopping. Like he would start a story and be like, no, I can't tell that. And then he would like go a couple words into another one. And we never ended up getting a funny story. So it was just all locker room stuff. So Corky respects the locker room. I appreciate the hell out of that guy for giving me some of his time. He's a busy guy. He's still out there roping. Like I had to catch him in between like drills the other day to get him on here. So
yeah, no, he I do. I got one that's probably appropriate, but it's one of those. So we do our breakdowns, spring training and stuff, and we would do the pop-ups, they'd set up the jugs machine and they would shoot them 200 feet in the air. Wow. And out in Arizona, there's not a cloud in the sky, so it just goes on forever. So he would always pull it out like Sunday morning, and he was like, first thing, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, first when we break to do team drills, he would pull it out like we're doing pop-up priority, and he would be like, "Yeah, boys, Sunday morning, glassy-eyed pop-ups," because everyone like probably went out, drinking or something the night before. So, you're out there at 7:30 in the morning catching balls off the jugs machine that are 200 feet in the air and a sky with no clouds, and it's just sunny, and you're all, you're like dizzy, you're looking up, you're running around. So, yeah, Corky would always hit us with that on Sunday morning. So,
glassy-eyed, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, we're going to move on to someone that is very near and dear to both of us here. This is our Justin Knadler section. Justin was a huge mentor to me, a big brother to me. I think very similar to you. Is that how you see him in
definitely.
ways too? Or how would you characterize your relationship with Justin? Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean, probably just a mentor growing up. I mean, and even now, still, I could go to Justin for anything, and he would be there. He just always been someone I could lean on or depend on my whole life. I mean, baseball, anything.
You guys spent so much time together, right? From a young age, right?
Yeah, I think, man, he was still playing when I started working with him in the off season. So I think it was towards the end, but his last couple of years when he was still playing in the off season, I was working out with him. So
was that pretty cool for you then?
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome to come work out with a guy who was playing big league baseball. I mean, I was probably, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Beautiful. All right, here we go. Let's go. Justin Knadler meeting Mitch. Here we go.
Yeah, really. It was probably when he was about 13 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, may have been 12, but honestly, I'd always heard about the kid and about how big and mature he was for his age and how good of an athlete he was, but I never really met him. And I don't know exactly where I was at in my career at the time, but before you know it, Brooke Trees or Lynn Trees had reached out and said, "Hey, we'd really like Mitch to do a lesson with you," or something like that. And I met him, and the rest is history. Took a liking to him. He was just obviously a kid that was so much bigger and stronger than most 13-year-olds at the time.
Yeah.
He was well beyond his years. I mean, at 13, he was definitely able to compete with even kids at 15, 16, 17 years old. And you just knew the talent was there. So it was definitely a kid that I was like, I got to work with this kid. This kid's got some ability and some God-given ability at that. The friendship began, and it continues today.
I love that. Yeah, Dick, you have anything on that?
No, I mean, I agree. Friendship continues today. I mean, ever since, as long as I can remember, really, Justin's been part of my baseball career.
Mm-hmm. That when I heard the name Brooke, obviously your dad in there, it reminded me of the story. I texted you about this not that long ago. So Jared Wash, I'm gonna say it. I have Jared's permission. Jared texted me and goes, "I got a great Mitch Trees story. Northend guy as well. You grew up on the North End." He said that you used to be running around playing tackle football with like older boys. He said you were like 8 years old out there playing with 13-year-olds and like just strong and doing your best, and that somebody laid into you a little bit or something like that, like gave it to you. And I don't know what happened. You might have went home and told your dad, but apparently Brooke was ready to make that settle that score, and don't mess with Brooke Trees.
I want to say we were either in we may have been at the KC or Chad and Mallory Beck over there, like their house, back behind their house. We were playing football or something.
Yep. Apparently his last name saved him. Apparently someone said like, "This is a Washco boy" or something like that, and that was what saved his butt. Otherwise he was about to he was about to learn some lessons from a Brooke. Anyway, Northside tough, man. Here we go. Next one is going to be Pro Potential, Justin.
Being where I was at, in that time, I think I was probably still playing pro ball at that time when we first met. You could just tell yes, I would say that the potential was there. It was not something that I had at 13.
Yeah.
I didn't really hit my stride till I was 16, 17, maybe even 18.
Right.
At 13, you could say, okay, this kid's going to be a good high school player. He's going to play college baseball.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be some potential there for him to go on. So it's special one for sure in my life.
Cool. Next one is Reason I Did, and stop me if you ever want to say something here.
Yeah. I mean, actually, he was probably the reason that I did coach summer baseball.
Cool.
I think it was his 14U team, and I believe he was being coached by Bo Gum at the time.
Okay.
And they were the Statesmen, or maybe I think they were the Statesmen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Bo was done or if the team was kind of breaking up because all these kids were getting ready to kind of go into their high school seasons, or maybe they had just finished their 15U freshman season. And I know Nick Maton, for example, and some of the Litchfield crew, some of the other kids were going to go play for the Mules, the Midwest Mules, which,
right.
Rightfully so. They had a connection there, and, that team was a very good team as well. But there were basically 6 or 7 kids from that team that were going to be out of a team. They weren't going to have a group. So they called me, and I had a meeting with a lot of the parents, and that's when I started coaching summer ball. I was already coaching at Lincoln Land and involved out there, but so it was the core of Mitch and Zach Barnhart and Clay Short and Coven Pritchard and Connor White.
Okay.
And just a bunch of good local players, and I had to go find a few more, which we did.
Yeah.
But that was my first summer job coaching right there, and coaching for 3 summers, and we were the Statesmen. I think that was one of the last Statesman teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. For those of you guys that don't know, the Statesmen are a storied baseball program from Central Illinois. They had Dusty Bensko, PJ Finnegan, Phil Laurent, all these kind of guys, and that franchise or whatever kind of got passed down the line for a while. I don't think they still go anymore, but just a lot of history there.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Next one. Everything came natural.
Yeah, everything came naturally, and it started with his work ethic, and it was there. He obviously had the physical attributes to be just an unbelievable athlete. He played football. He did some basketball. Obviously, catching was a good fit for him because he had strong work ethic, and he had some leadership qualities. And he had the competitiveness. You want somebody back there that's just going to take charge and want to kick your ass kind of sorts. He definitely had all those things. So being back there was great. What's crazy about Mitch is he could have been the best player at any position on the field, and we used to talk about that. Like when he's catching, you almost wish he was at shortstop. When he's at shortstop, you wanted him behind the plate.
Right.
You could put him anywhere, and he was going to get the job done. But catching was just a natural fit for him.
Awesome. Next one is going to be a lot of myself. Here we go.
Yeah, I think anybody that has a strong arm at that age, a lot of it's just God-given ability, and he certainly had it. I mean, I did. I saw a lot of myself in him, which is again a reason why I wanted to have that connection with him and be able to kind of teach him things that I obviously wasn't taught at a young age. I certainly had some influence along the way in my own career, but wanted to pass along anything that I could to help him in his journey. Yeah, his arm strength was one of his strongest tools, that's for sure.
All right. Next one, unless you got anything here, is it's a crapshoot. You good?
Yep.
Keep rolling. All right, here we go.
Yep.
Obviously got the ability and the chance to go play some pro ball, and from there it's a crapshoot, man. As a catcher, you're trying to get. We've talked about it on my podcast. As a catcher, you're trying to get one of 60 jobs. There's two, and they carry 2 catchers. It's very tough odds.
Okay, next one. Not putting up with it.
Yeah, but you know what? But he wasn't afraid. I mean, we had a couple pitchers that needed to have him go out there and just get in their rear a little bit. I think about a guy like Clay Short. Clay was a very talented pitcher that we had on the team, and just he had an incredible arm. And there were times where I could get through to Clay, but I would just send Mitch out there because Mitch wouldn't put up with it. Mitch would go out there and get in his ass a little bit, and it was great. And so I knew that I could rely on him to do that, and pulled the team together on the infield instead of me having to go out to the mound to do it. So he had it all. He had it all at an early age.
I love that.
And you always worry about kids like that. Maybe they peak soon, and certainly wasn't the case. Mitch continued to improve and to get bigger, faster, stronger, and mature. As a young man.
Okay. Next one. Always there.
Yeah, I mean, it was always there. And he had some ups and downs with the swings, even in high school. He fouled a lot of pitches off at times where I felt like he should have been, driving them over the fence. And that was just because I think he was just so strong and he had a lot of tension built up. And we talked a lot about even my career. I was kind of the same way, a 2-hand finish guy that just wanted to overpower instead of just letting it come out. And so we talked a lot about that, and he certainly showed signs of that. But, the ability was there. The tools were there. Sometimes it's just being able to produce and be in the right place at the right time. And, I don't think he has any regrets. I know he gave it everything he had, and had a lot of influence along the way. I was just happy to be a part of it.
It's kind of interesting that you and Justin, you have a lot of similarities in terms of like the really big arm, high level athleticism, some power, some bat speed. would get kind of tense sometimes, like we talked about with your shoulders and whatnot. That's interesting. That was kind of, it's almost like he was teaching him a younger version of himself in ways.
Yeah, which was cool. I mean, which I think, helped me a ton. I mean,
sure.
Justin just getting the way he taught me to catch, I think that, I mean, at a young age, I was able to just so much further ahead of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because I had that knowledge, and that's kind of when I started doing lessons and stuff, same thing. It was like, I was given this knowledge at an early age. Like, hopefully I can pass it along to someone else at an early age, and it helps them,
No, it's beautiful too that, like, he got this knowledge, he passed it to you, and then you did a little bit with like Ben Hartle, and like you've passed on some of it. So it's like this tree line, of catching knowledge. That's sick.
Yeah.
All right, next one is turn around any fastball.
Well, obviously, Mitch was strong as he was. I mean, he could turn around any fastball when he was feeling good.
Yeah.
When his timing was right, he's going to turn around a fastball. And unfortunately, when you get in facing more, elite pitching at the pro level, and obviously he didn't go to college. He went straight from high school to pro ball. He's starting to face, some of the best pitchers in the world, and he's facing more breaking pitches and stuff like that. And that's just
okay. And then last one. It's a number. Actually, two more. It's a numbers game. And then
it's a numbers game, and every organization is different. Timing is everything. So they're always drafting. They're drafting guys every year. They're signing free agents every year. They're bringing guys in. And I think he was in a good spot with the Reds, but they also had a couple catchers that they had drafted ahead of him, and give him some more money. So there was obviously some roadblocks there in that regard. But yeah, as far as catch and throw, I mean, he could play with anybody. I'd love to. I haven't talked to Mitch for a little while. I mean, we keep in touch, and went to his wedding a couple of years ago. But I'd love to sit there and talk with him now about how these guys are catching today. I watch games on TV. I know when I was training Mitch and we were drilling together, it was the old school way. You're on your feet. You got your rear in the air. You're not putting your knee on the ground. Your glove staying still, and now it's just crazy how these guys are catching. And I'm not saying it's not for the better. I think there's definitely some advantages to the way these guys are catching now. But certainly would love to go back in time and give that a try. That's for sure. Can save the legs a little bit.
Can you talk to me about stylistically how much you feel like catching has changed since you were playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's evolved. These guys and these guys, I'd love to see the data on it. I don't know it off the top of my head, but on the surface, you would think that you'd see more pass balls in the big leagues. You'd see more wild pitches. Now you are seeing more guys steal, but I think that's just part of the changes that they've made at the big league level. But these guys are efficient back there. They're still blocking balls. So the way that they're receiving the baseball now, the glove is starting out of the zone and always coming to the zone, as opposed to starting the glove in the zone and moving away from it to wherever the ball's at. So I do see some advantages there. And so I mean, it's the topic of conversation that I love to actually get into with former catchers.
Fascinating catcher talk right there with Justin. I mean, obviously, you can follow right along with that. When you're watching baseball games now, does catching look entirely different to you, or what are your thoughts?
Different. Which, I mean, I think the whole knee down thing, everyone does it.
Yeah,
I never did it.
Would you now? Do you think would you have given it a chance?
Rockies, when I was with the Rockies, the catching coach was like, "Hey, they were kind of starting to get into that." Yeah, and I told him like, "Yeah, I'm
not into it.
Like, I'm not, like." I don't want to learn a new way to catch. I'm trying to make a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
you felt like it was just going to be too much to try to comprehend all these new movements and stuff.
I mean, well, like if I go into a game, like at that point I had been in pro ball long enough to see, perceptions, like everything pretty much in a way, because these front office guys, the guys who are making the decision, they may walk past your field for 1 second and glance at the thing and they see me with a pass ball or see something. They're like,
one pitch. Yeah.
You see one pitch, they say, "Who's that guy?" And then they're like, "Well, we don't have anything invested in him. Let's get rid of him." You know what I mean? Like, everything. That's the way it is. So to me, I'm like,
interesting.
I'm not gonna go out there and put a knee down and when I'm catching. And the other thing is, it's easy when you watch big leaguers do it, because when you look at the difference between big league pitchers and minor league pitchers, it's like night and day. Every time when I got chances to catch big league pitchers, I felt like I was the most confident, best catcher in the world.
Because they know where the ball's going?
I knew where everything was going. It was like I had the answers to the test. Like there was, you know what I mean? Like everything was going to be right here. So it was easy. Blocking was easy. Like there was nothing going to be outside the zone. Like if I called in, a back foot slider, it was going to be a back foot slider.
Yeah.
You know what I
Versus
mean?
the guy in A ball who's got electric stuff that's all over the place.
Right,
Is that
all
what you're
over the
saying?
place,
Yeah.
so, like, when you tell a guy to get down on a knee and say, "Hey, go out there and look good and catch good," I think they're gonna struggle a lot more than big league catchers, and that's just because the pitching is not at the same level, so in the
Yeah.
big leagues, when guys are throwing everything's in the zone, stealing strikes and being in a better position to do that is more important than blocking and being able to throw, because everything's at a higher level there. The pitchers are going to hold the runners.
Man.
They're going to be in the zone. Everything's going to be easier to do as a catcher in the big leagues than it is when you're coming up.
That's fascinating. On the flip side of that, I've actually heard batters talk about, as you kind of go up in minor league ball a little bit, sometimes hitting gets to some degree easier because, like you said, the pitchers know where it's going, so you can kind of think along with them more. Versus
Right.
even if you're trying to think along a guy who's in high A or low A, even if he's trying to hit outside corner, he might buzz you up and in. Like, he doesn't know where it's going all the time, so you can think a little more along the lines of what the pitcher is trying to do and like be looking for zones and stuff. So that's
100%.
fascinating, dude. Okay.
And it makes it, just catching in general. Like I said, you call a fastball away, or and they throw 100 miles an hour up and in. You know what I mean? So yeah, and it's I actually saw a video the other day with a kid, and which fascinates me, like the fact that with like 2 strikes or runners on, they still put a knee down.
Yeah.
I get it in like certain situations, but if there's like runner on, or because guys started doing it when I was playing, but it was more only when there was, it was, not an 0-2 or a strikeout count, or guys weren't on base. When guys were on base, they were catching regular. They weren't putting the knee down. But I saw one the other day, and it was like, he had his knee down, I guess it would have been his right knee down, with a right-handed pitcher throwing like a back foot slider to a lefty. And I'm like, you can't, like, he pulled it a little bit, and he couldn't get to it, and it hits off his side and rolls to the dugout,
Yeah.
And like, that, I just feel like you lock yourself up.
He was in a bad position for that.
And
Yeah.
then you put yourself in a bad position to be able to, keep that in front of you.
Now let me ask, you obviously had a bazooka, everyone talked about it. Could you ever do like the Ivan Pudge throw from the knees thing, or the Benito Santiago throws or anything like that? Yeah?
Yeah, I used to throw from the knees. I would back pick from the knees, and if it was my favorite one was a lot of times like either a curveball that was like in the dirt to my glove side, or to my throwing side, and I would pick it and then back pick to first. He would always, because the guy would be leaning, and you would always time. I mean, I used to throw way too much. That's probably part of the, Corky, if Corky touched on that at all, he was like, I was trying to get 2 outs an inning,
Not afraid.
I was trying to throw people out, man. And that's probably a little bit of like, I was a lot of it, I would take it, I would struggle at the plate, and I'd be like, I'd go out there and I'm going to
make up for it here.
Yeah, I'm going to get outs. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Like,
yeah.
If I can catch a guy, like I felt confident enough in it throwing, like if I can catch a guy here, I can get an out here. Like I'm going to show some, like I'm going to provide some value to the game. It's kind of the way I looked at it.
That's incredible. I love how you put that. That's some high level baseball talk, man. I'm glad. This is awesome. All right. Last JU, incredible friend.
Yeah. Mitch is going to be a forever friend, and, his family, just an incredible family. We'll always do anything in the world for him. I've got to coach a lot of kids, got to be a mentor for a lot of kids in the capacity of just doing lessons and whatnot. But Mitch is definitely at the top of the list, and a very special individual to me. And he told me he was getting married. I can't make it to all their weddings. I can't make it to all their graduations. I can't make it to, everything. But, definitely wanted to be there for him when he got married to Allie. I told him, when they came home one weekend, and I took them both golfing, because his wife Allie is a heck of a golfer.
Here we go.
I think she beat him that day on the golf course. And I said, well, Mitch, I was like, if I need a partner for member guest at Panther Creek, I was like, I'm calling your wife. I'm not calling you. And I think I even put that on their wedding card when I gave them their wedding gift. But he's moved on to bigger and better things. He's married. He's got a beautiful little boy. He's building houses, and he's down in Georgia, and he's doing some contracting, and that suits him well too. So
for sure.
surely very, very proud of him, and I hope to see more of him as we both get older.
Shout out to Justin Knadler. You got anything to say about him before we keep moving on here? I just love that guy. He's the best.
Yeah, no, I love Justin, man. Just a great guy, and like I said, always a lifelong friend for sure.
Think about how many baseball lives he's touched too, because I know I consider him a mentor, big brother. You do. I know Ryan Aper does. I know there's got to be a handful of other guys too, and all the guys in Lincoln Lane he's touched, all the lessons he's done. Like JU he's a special Springfield baseball guy. Love him to death. Shout out to Justin Knadler.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, man. We're getting to a fun part here. So we're at our kind of Q&A, how we're going to end it out here. Just a lot of fun baseball questions. Less like deep stuff about your career, but we've kind of been through that. So are you ready, my man?
Ready to go. Let's do it.
Favorite baseball smell? What we got?
Ooh. I was talking to my wife about this. I think I said like grass, like just fresh cut grass.
Sure.
And she said, "What about a new glove?" And I was like,
"Oh
man, that might be it." Like
tough to beat that one. Yeah. Now, how many catcher's mitts do you still own?
I still have, I think, two.
Two.
Actually, I think I gave Ben Hartle one.
Really?
I had like a brand new one that I had just gotten when I got released. I think I might have gave it to Ben. I know I got a brand new set of gear too. I think I gave it to Ben.
That's awesome of you, dude.
Right
Passing it forward.
He got back, but yeah, it's cool, man. He's playing pro ball now. That's pretty awesome.
Have you listened to his podcast on here?
I haven't got a chance to yet.
Oh, he's high level, dude. That guy is incredible. His mindset.
Super smart dude. I mean,
yes.
He wasn't in. You know what? I think actually.
He just got called up too.
Yeah, where's he at now?
He's high A now. He was in low. Yeah.
I think it might have been Colton White who knew. Actually made a connection there. He's in Indianapolis. Colton is now, but Michael Medici, I think is his name. He's a Texas Rangers scout. I think he might have been the scout that was following Ben, but he also was scouting me when I was coming up.
Really?
But I think they made the comment that the same thing. Like Ben's a high level guy. Like if he's not a player, like that guy should be a coach. So
100%.
Yeah, definitely a sharp dude.
Shout out to Ben Hartle. Everyone go listen to that. Mitch, you got to listen to that sometime too. That guy is incredible. And we're actually following his career. So we had him on as a guest, and then we had him on again right before the season. And we're going to keep, like after the season, we're going to keep doing this every year through his big league career. I'm saying it right now. This kid's making it to the big leagues. Yeah. All right. What are some things that you love about baseball? Just the first couple of things that just pop off your head.
The competitiveness, probably. Yeah. I mean, just especially as a catcher, being in it every time. I mean, in every pitch. So probably just the competitiveness.
Sure. Okay. Any major life lessons in ways baseball made you grow as a person? Anything jump off?
Yeah, failure. I mean, just learning how to deal with failure for sure.
It's so deeply ingrained into the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then just, also, like we said, some things are out of your hands a little bit. Maybe you're not going to get the same opportunities. You just, it's that way in the real world too. Like not everything's set, set even. So, which I don't make an excuse. Like I said, like Corky said, you got your chance. You just didn't, I didn't make do with my chance when I got it. And that's all it was.
I don't know about that, but that can be your perspective, man. Favorite field that you got to play at, or a couple of them that really stood out that you loved?
I mean, Dayton, that stadium was awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool for a minor league field. It's probably, I mean, that Midwest League is super nice. Fort Wayne, they got a nice stadium. South Bend, I mean, all those stadiums are really nice.
Okay. Do you remember the hardest ball you ever hit? Does anything just jump off like that was it?
I hit one that last year I was in Billings off a kid. He actually played with the Reds, Dominican kid that threw 100, and we released him because he just couldn't throw strikes. Mm-hmm. But he got picked up by the Brewers, and we ended up facing him again. And he threw me one like I say, threw 100 up and in, and I got the barrel there, and I hit it probably 10 foot off the ground, but it went out. I mean, it was like it didn't get much off the ground. It was just a line drive that
one of those.
I don't think it, just kept going. I mean, I hit it. That was probably the hardest ball I ever hit.
I love it. Swing wise, did you try to emulate anyone Was there any big league guys or Justin even or?
Yeah, Justin definitely liked his stuff, and then I was always a Chipper Jones guy, and then later towards
Chipper,
my career, I
yeah.
kind of that toe tap. It wasn't really a toe tap, but it was more of like a small gather,
Yeah.
I guess, like not so much like dramatic like Chipper did, but
His toe tap was so pretty. Yeah.
yeah. But so I wasn't as athletic or I guess or good enough hitter like he was to do that, but mine was more of like just like I would gather with like a small step and then go.
Is that what you kind of ended your career up doing? That was what where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done any softball since you've been done?
I did a little bit there.
You dropped some tanks?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, for the first year I got done, I played in the Anchor Boat tournament, and I think I struck out like 3 times.
Oh wait, is that the high arch softball?
Yeah.
That's like impossible to hit.
Yeah, unlimited arc.
That's crazy hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super hard. It's wood bat. I mean, yeah, that was definitely humbling.
I think I remember someone tell me about that. Like Mitch Trees just got done playing pro baseball and he came out here and he can't hit a damn softball.
Yeah. That's a different thing there.
It might have been Pat. You told me in private text that you didn't even get a chance to really do walk up music, but what would you have chosen if you did have like a batter's walk up music?
Oh man, I don't know. Probably, like I said, Aldean or something. Jason Aldean. One of his songs. He always had good stuff.
You're kind of a country guy.
Yeah, I like country.
Okay. Favorite baseball movie and then least favorite, and you gotta tell me why.
I don't know if I have a least favorite. I mean, The Rookie's a good one.
Okay.
I like that one.
The Rookie, like the Jim Morris story, the pitcher?
Jim Morris, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
That's a good one.
That's your favorite?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I've watched that one a lot, or just like the classics.
Sure.
Yeah. Major League, all those.
You're not gonna pick a bad one?
I don't think there is really. I mean, I can't really
There
think
are bad ones, buddy. There are bad ones.
I mean, maybe I haven't seen them. What would you say is a bad one?
Oh man, don't get me started. Well, I'm starting to feel like a hater when it comes to this, but Summer Catch is terrible. Remember that with Freddie
we're
Prinze?
going with those ones. Like, yeah,
Terrible.
I don't even consider those baseball movies.
Right. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. The Babe was pretty bad with John Goodman. His swing was awful. It was just an abomination to baseball. There's been some stinkers out there.
Yeah.
But, okay. Favorite? Did you play any baseball video games growing up?
Backyard baseball.
Ooh, there you go. Any others?
Me and David Jacob would play backyard baseball like every day.
Really? That was your jam?
Yeah, we love that.
What did talk to me about your favorite baseball bat? What bat model did you end up using in pro ball? Wood, size, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I 34, 32 and like a 243 is kind of what I got.
Okay, so the big boy barrel, you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Cupped or uncut?
Cupped.
You doing anything pine tar, motor stick, any of that stuff?
Stick. Yeah, I did the stick.
Dude, was that from Justin? Because I didn't even know what a stick was until I started hitting with Justin. He would put it on so thick that his hands wouldn't even you couldn't even pull your hands off sometimes. Were you kind of that?
It was like the tiger stick. Wasn't there like tiger stick? That one? Yeah.
Motor tighter stick.
Yeah. That's I think JU brought it back, and that's the first time I had ever seen him.
Yep. Those are the best. Okay. Circling back, glove model. So catcher's model, size, color. What you got?
I used the All-Star gloves there towards the end, 33, and then I also like the Heart of the Hide mesh.
That was the mesh back.
The mesh back,
lighter,
32 and a half. It was a smaller one.
Yeah, it's small.
I like that one too.
Okay. Color wise, did you care what it was going to be?
Yeah,
black.
Yep.
Okay. How many catcher's mitts while you were playing pro ball would you have kind of in rotation? Ben talked about like a gamer, a backup, one getting ready, like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I usually always had 3, if not 4. I mean, I always had my gamer, backup, and then one getting broken, 1 or 2 getting broken. I probably had like 2 or 3 backups because I would like one finally give away, and I would just have him. I would have one of the guys relace it completely. So I usually probably had 4 gloves.
Okay. Any special ways that you broke them in? Besides obviously playing catch and bullpens, right?
Yeah, I just call it bullpens really. And most of the time, I mean, I would, sit in the locker room and throw a ball on them a lot, or I would wrap them sometimes.
What about like, so I've heard people dunking them in water, mink oil, all kinds of crazy potions, shaving cream. What you got?
No, I never did any of that. I really just played catch with them a lot. I mean, we caught so many bullpens, I was like, I could break a glove in, honestly, in like a week.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine that. Well, what would you do if it got dry, though? I mean, you got to put something on it.
Yeah, I'd put some oil on it. I would oil them.
Okay. Yeah. Favorite model of batting gloves?
In high school, I used the Franklin batting gloves, and then in pro ball, I used Under Armour stuff. Okay. So when I got to pro ball, I was like just all Under Armour.
What was your favorite metal bat from high school?
Man,
remember?
Probably the EXO, but my my senior year I hit with the BB core was a 5150, that Rawlings 5150.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a favorite brand of spikes, cleats, turfs, moldeds?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, pro ball, I used just all Under Armour stuff, so that's kind of rare. But I mean, the Mizuno stuff was always comfortable. I always liked the Mizuno stuff.
Mizuno cleats?
Yeah, Mizuno, like JU, I think always had
him. Yeah, JU used to have a Mizuno deal when he was playing, so he had a lot of stuff probably surplus. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, did you care at all? I mean, would you use moldeds? Were they always metals? What'd you do?
I would practice. I would always use metals, but I would practice in the molded.
Okay.
What I usually did.
I can't remember if I already asked you this or not, so I apologize if I did, but every catcher has a story about how they became a catcher. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, did I already ask you this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So sometimes it's like you're the pudgy kid, or your dad's the coach and no one else wants to be it, or you've got ADD and you can't pay attention, so you got to be back there. What is your story? How did you become a catcher? Do you remember?
Yeah, we were probably 12 or 13. We were playing in Champaign in a tournament, and my dad, Brooke, was coaching, and I used to play like middle infield, shortstop back then, and I can't remember who we were playing, but they kept stealing on us a bunch, and he was like, "Hey, you want to catch? See if you can throw some guys out." Because even back then I had a good arm.
Right.
And I went back there, and I think I threw like 2 or 3 guys out, and then like ever since then I was catching.
That was it?
Yeah.
So did you instantly like it? You think it was cool?
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it was just like intense. You're always in it. So I enjoyed that part of it, and being able to like to get the outs. That was at any time. Not like if there was a guy on first base, like I had an opportunity to back pick him or throw him out.
For sure.
I always liked that.
If you couldn't catch, if that was taken away from you, what would have been your next position you would have wanted to play?
Probably infield, third, shortstop. If I could have, but I was gonna go. Actually, UCF, University of Central Florida, had offered me I was gonna go there and play third base. And
really?
Then they had a catcher, so they were like, "Yeah, we want you to come here and play third base, and then, maybe have you mix in catching."
Interesting.
So that was, that was one of the ones that they offered me before Louisville. So,
wow. Okay. My next question was going to be, what do you love about catching? But I feel like you've answered that. Is there anything else that jumps off your heart you feel like you want to say that you loved about catching that just stood out to you?
Just the competitiveness of it and being in every pitch. That's really what I loved about it.
Okay. I'm going to read you a passage. This is my all-time favorite baseball book. I've read it multiple times now. A guy named Tim Brown. He also did a book with Rick Ankiel called The Phenom. Mm-hmm. Crazy author, incredible baseball guy. He's actually going to be a guest at some point. We've been in touch. But here's a passage from the Tao of the Backup Catcher. Incredible book, my friend. Tell me if this rings true to you. Somebody throws a pitch that wins a baseball game, and that's the guy who gets the parade. Meanwhile, somebody else encouraged that pitch in a bullpen session 3 days before, corrected it, scouted the man who was going to try to hit it, watched the man's at-bats in the 2nd, 5th, and 7th innings, noticed he'd edged back 6 inches in the batter's box in the 9th inning, called the pitch, got a head shake, called it again with jabbing fingers and a glare, then caught the pitch when it was the perfect pitch at the perfect time. Afterward, he's asked, why was the pitcher so damn brilliant? Does that ring true to you at all?
Yeah.
Just all the little parts of it?
Yeah, I mean that's honestly, when you talk about the part about loving catching, that's probably part of it. Just everything else that goes into it. I mean, you're always from the bullpens and working with the pitchers, and then I mean that's an awesome way to put it right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you this book, man. I've sent it to Justin. I've sent it to Ben Hartle. I sent it to Will Veerling, all catchers that I've had on. So I'm gonna send it to you. What was your favorite team growing up? Who did Mitch Trees root for?
The Braves.
Braves guy. Oh, I'm a Braves guy too. So Chipper was that your guy?
Chipper, yep.
Oh, so just was that family, or you just decided I'm a Braves fan?
Yeah, Brooke, my dad was a Braves fan, and then they were always on TBS back then, so you could always watch them. And now I live in Georgia, and you can barely get them on TV here. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like all the different programming stuff. I hate it. I'm like,
it was so cool growing up watching them on TBS.
Yeah, you could always watch them. You could turn it on; they were on every night.
Do you recognize this then?
Oh yeah,
Chief Nakahoma.
Yeah.
So grew up a huge Braves fan as well. My dad grew up rooting for like Hank Aaron, Eddie Matthews, Warren Spahn, and we've been Braves fans since I was a little kid. I've been to all the stadiums. Big Braves fan too here, my man. So then outside of Chipper Jones, any other favorite Braves?
I guess. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Jones was about that same time when I was growing up. I think Dan Uggla was there, Dan Uggla. Rafael Furcal.
Yeah, there's some names for sure.
Yeah. Man, who else was there? Oh, man, he ended up playing with the Cubs for a little while. First baseman. Was with the. I can't remember. But
Fred McGriff would have been a little earlier than that. First baseman, Cubs. We'll figure it out. Favorite all-time player?
Chipper Jones.
It's Chipper?
Yeah.
Okay. All-time catcher?
Probably Pudge, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What are some things that about catching that no one knows that you have to deal with, that you have to manage, stuff like that?
I would say just everything outside of the game, when you're on the day-to-day, like bullpens, going through, reports, stuff like that.
Did you ever feel like you were in this book? They talked about the catcher being almost like a therapist in ways to his pitchers, to his pitching staff. Did you ever feel like that in ways?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some pitchers need a little more than others, and some of them need like you to come out there and let them have it, and some of them needed you to coddle them. So it was kind of like knowing your pitcher and knowing what they needed to get them, down the line.
Yeah. Okay. What would be some reasons for you to make a mound visit, and then what are some things like typical conversations out there?
I mean, usually, if it could be, they're just struggling to find the zone, or I can tell that they're rattled. It could be maybe someone made an error, and I could see their frustration. The umpire misses a call. Anything where I can see that I know that they're going to be, it might affect their next pitch. Like give them a second just to. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense to me. I've asked all the catchers this. I get disappointed every time. Don't be the latest guy to disappoint me. I love the movie Bull Durham. I love the scene where they're out there and it's like a funny, they're like, what makes a good wedding present? Candlesticks, and they're back and forth. Have you ever had any funny mound visits out there, or is it all business?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I sometimes, like I said, like some of the guys I would need to go out there and like, I would like crack a joke, but I mean, I don't remember any funny ones. I mean, in high school, there was one where he actually, I think Ryan Elvers was pitching. He hit a bird, like with a pitch, which is like Randy Johnson.
Like Randy Johnson?
Yeah, like Randy Johnson hit a bird.
Okay.
So that was kind of a funny deal, like going out there after that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's probably some funny ones. I mean, some guys needed that, and some guys needed you to come out there and kind of lay into them.
Okay. Some of these questions, I know you're looking at your list here. We've answered some of these along the way, so if I skip one or two here, don't be alarmed or anything. But catching wise, who've been your biggest mentors along the way?
Justin and Corky, Mike Stefanski, I like all those guys. Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about the wear and tear of catching on your body. Were you feeling beat up quite a bit, or like were there things that you did to feel better, like ice baths or stretching or anything like that, or what were you doing?
Well, usually we'd have ice bath or hot tub, stretching, foam rollers, all that stuff. I mean, I did yoga and stuff. Try to
Really?
try to stay flexible and.
Were your hips naturally flexible? Or are you a tight guy, or where do you fall in that?
I think I've always been fairly flexible.
Okay. Okay. Talk to me about your thoughts on long toss. Did you do it? Are you a believer in it and building arm strength? And if yes, how did you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I always long tossed. I think growing up, especially with pitchers, because that was like a big thing for them. So I would always throw with pitchers. So I would go out and long toss like sometimes a couple times a day with different pitchers.
I mean, if you were just trying to build arm strength yourself, what would have been your strategy? I mean, are you a big loop in the air guy? Is line as hard as you can, as long as you can? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I never really looked at it that way. I guess I just threw. I mean, that was kind of.
Well, I mean, some organizations have like rules on like how far you can and how you do it and how they want you to do it. So I just wondered if you had any personal thoughts.
I don't remember us having rules. I think kind of every pitcher was different.
Okay.
So I would just throw with whoever was pitching. Some of the guys would want to go, from the foul pole to foul pole, and some guys would want to go from, the foul line to center field, and bounce them. Some guys would throw them as high as they could in the air and get them there on a fly. I mean, I just kind of played catch with whoever I was throwing with.
You were just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into a little more here. Who do you think is the greatest hitter of all time?
Man, I couldn't even. When I saw that question, that's a hard one. I feel like
It's broad. You can interpret it however you want.
You look at like the guys that I would have watched, or know of. I mean, Pete Rose would have probably been, or Tony Gwynn. I mean, like a lot of those guys were. I mean,
there's no wrong answer. It's your answer.
Wrong answer, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know if I would say one in particular. I mean, like I said, Pete Rose probably is who I would say.
Pete Rose has been named multiple times on here. Do you think there's a greatest pitcher of all time? Is there a clear someone there?
I mean, you think Nolan Ryan, right? I mean, I think maybe.
Sure.
Or, there's a lot of. I mean, there's
a lot of names that you could throw in there, man.
Names, man. Yeah, that's
Nolan
hard.
Ryan. That's your guy.
Yeah, I would say
Nolan Ryan. Oh, you can see you see that right behind me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
iconic picture. I had to put that behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're just listening, I have the iconic Nolan Ryan bloody shirt poster behind me. I just thought it was one of my favorite all-time baseball pictures, and I had to have it sitting behind me during the podcast. So I think it sets the tone a little bit. Right. Nastiest stuff you got to catch overall?
Oh, man. There's a guy, I mean, Jimmy Herget is his name. He still pitches. I think he pitches for the Rockies right now. And he threw like almost submarine, but sidearm. And he threw just sweeping slider and just huge like bowling ball sinker. His stuff was pretty nasty. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but he got everybody out. And he would always do funky stuff. I mean, he was a good pitcher.
Okay. We've already talked about the catching styles evolving, so we'll skip past that. Let's go to a little list now of like players that you've played with that you can think of. The best infield arm that you have seen.
Best infield arm.
Yeah.
I know Cole. I'll probably say Cole Daly. I'm just kidding.
Sure. Go for
it. There was this kid, Gonzo. Oh, man, he played for a few years, and he had a hose. I don't know where he ever ended up, but I don't think he made it to the big leagues. But man, that guy was
arm.
Yeah, he could backhand it in the hole and throw it like, on just a. It was gonna take the first baseman's glove off.
Was there an outfielder an outfielder arm that you played against or with that you felt like really stood out?
Jose Siri, for sure.
Tell me about it. Ridiculous arm.
Yeah, I mean, 5-tool. He's I don't know who he's with now. Maybe the Mets. He's a big leaguer. Okay. Took him a while to get there, but if anybody had that guy, if he had like 5 tools, and then if he could just put it all together at one time, he was. I mean, super special player.
Okay. Fastest guy you play with?
Probably Jose Siri.
Really, just fly too.
Yeah, he could fly. Okay. And Mitch Piotnik's fast.
There's he was flying. There's a 60-yard dash video of him on YouTube that's ridiculous. He's flying off.
He can fly.
Yeah. So he could absolutely go.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Best overall athlete you played with?
Probably, man. Well, I played with I didn't think about that one, but the Amir Garrett, he played college basketball. I caught him a few times. He was with the Reds, and then he's been in the big leagues bouncing around. I don't know if he's still playing or not, but he played college basketball, Division I basketball too.
Okay. Most pop, most power, most pop. And then there's a second part to this, but most pop that you saw, and then secondly is going to be who's the best batting practice hitter you ever saw?
Man, that Jose Siri kid, same thing. That guy was like, he hit balls, and it was, he hit them out everywhere. That one year we were in Dayton, I think he had like the Midwest League hit record in a row, but he could hit home runs to any part of the field, and he could hit them 480 feet. You know what I mean? Yeah. That guy was.
Would he have also been the most impressive batting practice hitter you ever saw too?
I mean, probably. He most of the time I don't think he would take it that serious, but if he wanted to, yeah, he could bang him out. I mean, probably, he would probably hit 12 or, if he took 15 swings, he might be able to hit 12 of them out if he wanted to.
Is he the best overall hitter that you played with too? Is he all these answers?
He struggled. No, the best overall hitter that I probably played with was Nick Senzel.
Okay.
I had to guess, just being on the team with, watching him hit.
Okay.
I mean, which I don't know if he's still playing somewhere, but he just was one of those guys who could see it, hit it. It wasn't like,
right.
He could just hit.
Okay. Funniest teammate of all time.
Probably Cassidy Brown or Chris Oakey, two other catchers.
Okay. You want to give us anything, or is that locker room stuff?
Probably mostly locker room stuff. But one I told you about with those sumo suits, I think I told you about.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was Cassidy. So that was me and Cassidy doing that when we were in Dayton. But yeah, both those guys catchers just funny, dude. We spent a lot of time together. So
you obviously listened to the Justin podcast, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You remember his defense story?
I don't know if I do. It probably, if you brought it up.
Can I jog your memory? When they would get a new player, they had a guy on the team that had a referee like jacket or shirt and a whistle and a basketball. And when the new guy would come in, they would pass him the basketball, and then everyone would start chanting defense, defense, and then two guys would come out of the shower naked and play defense on them, and that would be their initiation to the team.
Yeah, so there's a lot of locker room stuff like that. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. One year we got, like, I think Shane touched on it. Like we had those. The season was bad in Dayton, and we were coming up with anything and everything that could, like. Me and Cassidy came with this idea. We do this whole ritual, and we would eat a goldfish. It was like a sacrificial goldfish.
Wait,
yeah, like a live.
No, live goldfish.
In the locker room, we did this whole thing where it was like a sacrificial goldfish, and it was going to turn the season around for everybody.
It didn't work though, did it?
It didn't work, no. I got released.
Oh no. That's great.
That was a good effort.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta do what you can to get some hits, don't you?
That's right.
That's the damn truth. Some of these questions I have already asked, so I'm gonna skip over these. Are there any things that stand out from your career? It doesn't sound like you're gonna answer this. I don't think you're gonna answer it, but that you wish you could do differently or do over, or that, you know what I'm saying, or do you feel like it played out how it's supposed to?
Yeah, I mean, I think it played out the way it was supposed to. I don't really regret any of it. Maybe just if I would have just made more of the opportunities I was given. That's about the only thing that, But I'm happy with where I'm at now. I mean,
yeah, you seem like you're in a good place and you're at peace with that. I always wondered where you fell with this, and I'm happy that it seems like you're in a really good place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I got
some guys can like hang on this part of their life forever, and it's always painful for them. And they always are like, I should have made it, or I got screwed over. And I don't hear any of that from you. Zero.
No, yeah, I was able to move on from it pretty quick, which was good.
Yeah.
I got a great wife, got a kid. Everything I'm doing now is way better than baseball, is the way I see it. So.
Oh man, I love how you said that. That's beautiful. Do you still consider yourself a baseball player? You can interpret that however you want.
No, I don't think really. I mean,
okay.
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. Do you ever have baseball dreams anymore, or did you ever?
No.
Never.
I did probably, yeah, when I was playing. Probably trying to figure out how to get a hit.
Right. Well, my man, I have no more questions for you. We are at the end of the line. Questions wise, how are you feeling? Is it a relief to be done, or what you got?
No, I enjoyed it, man. It was awesome. I appreciate it. You do an awesome job with this, so I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad you had me on.
I really appreciated you giving me some of your time. I know this is a big ask, especially with people that have real lives and real 1-year-olds and, demanding jobs and all these things. So anyone that gives me their time, I really appreciate it. I know people have been wanting to hear your story for a long time. Let me say thank you to everyone that listened. Let me say thank you to Cole Daly, David Jacob, Connor White, Carter Pranger, Justin Knadler, Mike Eck, Corky Miller, Mitch Piatnik, and Shane Martirosian. I think I got it right this time. I looked it up, but those guys were all incredible. I really appreciate them giving me some of their time. I think we got a good look at, what you went through being the draft pick, what it was in the Reds organization, kind of how that went. It's not always an easy path, right? Just because you get drafted, I know people think like, oh, this guy's got it made. He's so lucky, but man, that can be, as you know, major or professional baseball can be absolutely brutal, and it's not always fair, and you don't always get the easiest path, but you make the best of it that you can. And I think you did, my friend. And I'm so thrilled that life is treating you well. And I don't really have anything else for you, man. Just thank you for your time. This has truly been a journey worth remembering. This is the Mitch Tree story. Do you have anything else you want to say before we get out of here, brother?
No, man. I just appreciate your time and what you're doing. It's good to hear all the lot of baseball in Springfield. So
for sure there is. I mean, when you really think about it, there's a ton of stories here. So I'm gonna keep rolling. Like I said, a journey worth remembering. I always say after these podcasts are over that, and when you spend this much time talking baseball, talking about someone's life, that we're boys. So I'm gonna consider Mitch Tree my boy now. If you ever need anything from me, man, anything I can ever do from you, you have my number. Text me, call me. I got you. Blake Helm, Mitch Trees are boys now. So anyway, This has been the Mitch Trees story. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We are out of here. All right, man.